Hi everyone, Adam here. I'm once again participating in the Slashback challenge created by Joe the Horror Man. I'll leave a link to the original challenge video for those who don't know what it's about. And this week's theme was revenge. My choice for this week was I Know What You Did Last Summer, which stars Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe, and Freddie Prinze Jr. It was released in 1997, runs for about an hour and 40 minutes. Was directed by Jim Gillespie, I think that's how you pronounce it. And this tells a story of four friends who, while driving down the road, accidentally hit somebody with their car. And of course, not sure what to do, they decide that the best thing to do is hide the body by throwing the body into the ocean. Nice kids. Of course, they all make a pact not to say anything because they're all worried about their future. And of course there's always the one who knows it's wrong but still does the pact anyway. But I get the feeling I've done this before. What do? Do they call the police? No. They try to hide the body. So they decide the best thing to do is throw the body down a well. After a year, the friends have all pretty much drifted apart. Julie James, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, returns to town. And returning to her mother's place, she finds a note that says, "I know what you did last summer." So of course she has her doubts that maybe they didn't kill the man they thought they did. So she goes to her friends to try and figure out what's happening, which leads them on to an investigation with a lot of suspects in this movie. Now the friends end up accusing each other when they realise, somebody must have seen something. So all we have here is pretty much, once again, if you know horror movies, you know the drill. People involved with the accident start to get killed off. And the best tactic Julie James can come up with to try and draw the killer out is to yell and twirl.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Okay, this isn't a great movie. It's not awful. It does have its moments. The acting's fine because they were all very talented young actors at that stage. They all do fine. The screenplay for this was written by Kevin Williamson, who did the screenplay for Scream, but apparently he wrote this before he wrote Scream. There are some decent scenes too. There's a chase between Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, Helen Shivers, being chased by the fisherman, because that's the killer, a fisherman with a hook. And that's a good scene. I do like that scene. Another thing I noticed, it is actually a well-made movie. And there's some pretty good shots, especially the opening scene when it's panning over the ocean. That looks good. I know most people in the horror community don't like this movie. That's fair enough. So like I said, I don't hate it, don't love it. I kind of like it. Of course, this was followed by two sequels. There was I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which really technically should have been titled I Know What You Did 2 Summers Ago. Think about it. And the clumsily titled I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, which was a direct-to-DVD movie. The most interesting thing about that is Don Shanks plays a fisherman. In the other two movies, it was Muse Watson. And the third one, I've seen it, and took on a more supernatural element than the other two, which I'd say kind of realistic. Look, another thing I want to point out, I'm not a fisherman. I can't eat fish, it's just me. But would fishermen wear those slickers if it's summer? Okay, and I'm pointing out a plot hole here, but would they? Think about it. Okay, that's going to do it for Slashback Saturday. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Adam, and I'll see you again soon.
Bobby, look at my car, man! My dad's gonna freak!
I didn't see it. It came out of nowhere.
Oh my God, we hit a boat!